Hey now, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back into yet again another Wednesday night of After Hours Live with the docs of the Specific Chiropractic Centers. So good to see you here every Wednesday at 6:30. I'm leading us off this evening. Figured we'd mix it up a little bit. I usually go last, and I was thinking about it. I was like, it makes no sense for me to go last every time. So we're going to switch it up. We're going to mix it up because routine is the silent thief. If you want creativity in your life, if you want a greater level of success, I've found that switching things up and getting out of your normal routine sometimes can be the key to unlocking some creativity. So there's a tip right off the bat there. It looks like we got 2 viewers here. Hey, feel free to tell us who you are and where you're joining in from. Love for you to, if there's any questions you'd like to ask us or anything you'd like us to answer on air live here, we'd love to answer those questions for you. Do not forget $100 Local Lime gift card is on the hook tonight. Listen, Local Lime, if you've been to Local Lime, post up in the comments. I love Local Lime. If you don't like Local Lime, you can say that too. But Local Lime is one of my favorites. It's one of those places you can't get just anywhere. It's an authentic Mexican joint. I don't want to say authentic. I'd say it's more modern, actually. Amazing queso, amazing tacos. Everything in there is super good. So $100 tonight, Local Lime gift card. We're going to be giving that up to a lucky viewer this evening. Gosh, over the last couple of months, we've given out quite a bit of giveaways. Do not forget, speaking of giveaways, the last Wednesday of the month, February 28th at 6:30, we are giving away a $1,000 value worth of an iPad valued at $1,000. Happy Valentine's Day to my wife, Mary Lee. I love you, honey. Thanks for being you. And I would be remiss without throwing that in there here. So a couple of things. Wednesday, February 28th, a couple of announcements here. The last Wednesday of the month. Do not miss that live. We're giving away a $1,000 iPad. But you got to do something for us. You got to actually earn that thing. We're not just going to give it. You got to earn it. First thing is you got to download our app. You got to prove to us you have downloaded our app. Screenshot it. Send it over to our Facebook page. We'll validate and verify that. That's actually one of the easier ones. The second is you have to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The third is we put up a Facebook post on our Facebook page. You got to tag 3 people in that. And if you're feeling extra froggy and lucky of winning that, the last thing that you can also do is you can go and join our free group, Happier, Healthier Arkansas, because there may be some valuable tips inside of that may make it easier for you to win that big giveaway there. Hint, hint. Happier, Healthier Arkansas, free group. Join that thing. So those are the 4 things you got to do. We got a lot lined up for this evening, and looking forward to sharing some value with you guys today. But I want to start with something that here recently has hit home with me. I think sometimes people think that as doctors, when we take care of people, that we're not human in some way, that we don't have things we deal with, that we don't have things that we encounter, and honestly, that we don't take our own health as a priority. I think it's important to understand we practice what we preach. And I had something here over the last couple of months I wanted to share with you guys I felt like you might think is valuable. So about 2 months ago, I would say back early December, really into November, early into December, I started getting these headaches. I'm the headache guy, right? Like I wrote a book called A Life Without Migraines in 2020. It was an Amazon best-selling book. I literally love nothing more than knocking people's migraines out. But I myself was just having a time with these things. And not so much migraines all the time, but really just headaches in general. I just couldn't figure out what was going on with these. So I got some blood work done of my own. So a lot of you might resonate with this. The first step I did is I was like, let me just check out my blood chemistry. And I actually had like 7 or 8 markers in that blood chemistry that came back not within the normal limits. Well, as a provider, as somebody who, takes care of people, I'm like, well, that's not cool. I prioritize health. I preach health. It's important that I'm healthy. So one of the things that I did is I went and got that blood work done. And so when that came back, it was kind of a shocker for me. I was like, wow. So one of the things in the questions I had, and one of the questions I get a lot is how much, what's going on, Miss Jeff and Tammy? Good to see you guys on tonight. Feel free, folks, tell us where you're joining in from, who you are. We'd love to jam out with you. So I had these like markers come back. I was like, that's weird. Like I'm a relatively healthy guy. Like my blood work should be normal. Like what the heck? But how quickly, and I get this question a lot, how quickly can one's blood chemistry actually change? Like how quickly can you have an abnormal blood panel show up? And how quickly can your body work through that to get you back to normal? And I'm here to tell you, via anecdotal evidence, it's 2 months. In a short 2 months, you can take blood work that is abnormal, so markers that are elevated, things outside the normal range. And with lifestyle choices and things you proactively do, whether it's diet, exercise, supplementation, care with us, a combination of everything, you can get those down. And so within 2 months, I was able to get about 7 or 8 markers on my blood panel down within the normal, back into the normal range within a 2-month period. So the true answer is, for a long time I didn't know the answer to that. I was like, we put people on 4 to 6 month care programs typically because we feel like that's about how long it takes for the body to work through things. But I'm here to tell you that the body can work through things. The intelligence of our body is incredible. It can work through things in a period of about 2 months, and I have anecdotal evidence to prove that, even for my own self. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Also, to what are we doing for the giveaway tonight? What do they got to do to? There's Miss Emily from Roland Women's Initiative International. If you guys don't know what that is, you need to know what that is. They host an event every night that we had the opportunity to sponsor this year called Kigali Nights. The Women's Initiative International is fantastic. Holy smokes, a nonprofit that allows for women in Rwanda jobs. They provide all sorts of clothing and products and candles and provide them jobs. It's an amazing initiative. So if you don't have never checked out Women's Initiative International, you need to check that out. Shout out Miss Emily, good to see you. So another thing, there's this movie that just came out. I don't know if you guys saw this or not on Netflix. It's actually called Arkansas. So I'm gonna jam out on my movie review of that real quick. Comment Lime for a chance to win the $100 local Lime gift cards in the comments. All you gotta do is post Lime. Just post Lime in the comments, and what we'll do is we'll count all the people who posted Lime. We'll get Siri to hook us up with a just a random generator to figure out who wins that. So I was watching, fellas, this movie called Arkansas. Um, I don't know if you've seen this movie. Give me your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't seen this movie, you need to see it. But it was super cool. But one of the things I appreciated the most about it was it actually had scenes in downtown Hot Springs. I'm from Hot Springs originally. I went to high school in Hot Springs. They literally had scenes downtown by the bathhouses. They had scenes downtown, like around the Gulf of Gorge area, like places that if you're from Arkansas, you would recognize in the movie. You'd be like, hey, I know exactly where that is. That's Grand Avenue. That's Central Avenue. So the actual storyline, so we got some people commenting up Lime here. We got some people popping in there. Good to see. So there's actually some places that like I was able to recognize. I was like, dude, this is like I totally know where that is. Being from Hot Springs. And there's some scenes that are from Hot Springs. The funny part is the plot and the story, and I won't give it away, but the actual guy that's sort of like the main. So it's about a drug trafficker. It's about a guy who's trafficking drugs, and these guys are like, so not advocating drugs, but storylines, right, for movies. And it happens, and they're actually set in Arkansas. But the storyline, I wasn't so much of a fan of. I mean, but it was just I just thought it was interesting that the actual movie was actually called Arkansas, and the setting was in Arkansas. So check that out if you haven't seen it. I'm actually going to have somebody on my podcast, the Spa City Podcast in Hot Springs. We're going to delve into a large majority of the storyline is actually occurring in Hot Springs. The actual guy who the movie's surrounding, it's actually Vince Vaughn. So Vince Vaughn's in it. Vince Vaughn's kind of the lead guy. Look, so Vince Vaughn, popping in, repping some Arkansas. Gotta love that. So anyways, check it out if you haven't seen it. I thought it was super cool. Looks like we got Miss Cassie popping in there. Got Jeff and Tammy. Got Miss Emily here popping in Lime. 33% chance right now you have of winning that bad boy. And after me, I believe Chris is going to pop on, and then Cam's going to wrap us out here in a second. But I wanted to kind of close out with a few things here. One of the things, like when you talk about one of the questions that we've fielded a lot over the last month is people's frustrations with our current healthcare system. And one of the things that I find really fascinating across the healthcare spectrum was when I went to go just try to get a routine blood panel done, how difficult it was to just actually get a doc on the phone, to actually just get, someone who's transparent, somebody who would actually answer the phone and schedule me and literally just suffice the need I needed, which is, look, I just want to get a blood panel done just to rule out a few things. Like I just want to check on these things. It took me forever. It took me way longer than it should. And one of the things that I find fascinating that a lot of people don't take into account is how lack of transparency, lack of communication, timeliness. There's so many things along the way that really, in our viewpoint, are unacceptable when it comes to taking care of people within the healthcare system. It's one of the things we pride ourselves on is addressing a lot of those needs. And so, like I said, if you're just joining us, by the way, feel free to tell us who you are, where you're joining in from, and then comment Lime in the comment section, and you're going to win a gift card. It's a local Lime on us. And also the last piece of this is trust. How do I know when I have a doctor that I can trust? That can be a difficult topic. We were talking about actually before coming on air here. We were talking about conspiracy theories. We were talking about going through some conspiracy theories, some of our favorite conspiracy theories. We are talking a little bit through are these legit? Are they not? Because listen, let's be honest. Like since 2020, there's been a lot of conspiracy theories that actually ended up being kind of true. So I remember a lot of things too when I was being taught or when I was a kid that was being taught that were true at the time that now have now turned out to not be true. We were just jamming through. Of course, I'm not going to share some of those on air because that's polarizing. We're not going to share our conspiracy theories. But at the end of the day, the fine line, and here's the last thing I'm going to leave you with here: the fine line between conspiracy theory and truth is a very fine line. It's interesting what we shared on our segment last week about how doctors back in the 50s and 60s were endorsing Camel cigarettes. They thought that those were healthy for you. Like doctors were literally endorsing Camel cigarettes. Like, okay, well now we know they cause cancer, right? So like back in the day though, if they'd been like, hey, they cause cancer, that'd been a conspiracy theory. Well, maybe time can. I guess the biggest thing I will leave and implore you with is this. Sometimes the difference between conspiracy theory and truth is time, because time will reveal whether or not that actually became true or that was false or was truly a conspiracy theory. Keep that in mind next time you start to hear about truths, conspiracy theories, what's real, what's not, what's honest, what's credible, what's trustworthy. One of the things we try to pride ourselves on here at the Specific is just to be your most trusted health advisor on anything relative to health. And if we don't know the answer, we've got a great group network of professionals who usually do. We can refer you on to get the best credible evidence out there. Folks, that's going to do it for me tonight. Next up, I believe we have Dr. Chris. He's going to pop in here. Be sure and post up Lyme down in the comments, and be sure and download Wednesday of the month. Also, this Saturday, you can join Chris for Walks with Friends. I'll let him give you the info on that. And and I'll let him address whether someone did land on the moon there, Jeff or Tammy. That's in the comments. If someone says someone landed on the moon, I'll let Dr. Chris handle that one. Guys, until next time and until next week, see you.
Did someone say moon landing? Well, looks like someone did, and that person was Cam. And that person was Cam yesterday when I come into the office, and I forget what we were talking about, but then also he's like, "So do you believe someone landed on the moon?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he goes, "What?" My dude was baffled. We literally had an hour-long conversation about this. I was like, I don't know if I've ever interacted with someone who was as convicted that there was no one on the moon as Dr. Cam last afternoon. And so I was like, dude, I need to take this to social media, because honestly, I didn't even know this was a thing. So that's why I threw it up on Facebook yesterday. That's what Jeff was saying. So someone land on the moon. Apparently the answer is we don't know, but we do, but they didn't. So it's pretty, honestly, kind of a fine line, confusing. But we know what we did do, and what we are going to do is we are going to do a walk with friends this Saturday. And the fact that I can definitely prove that I will be on that bridge and I will be at that park walking through those pines this Saturday at 10 o'clock. And I bet that if your calendar is blank on Saturday, you probably won't block it in. I will show up to Chris's walk because, why would you? It's sunny. There's a bunch of people out there. It's going to be a great time hanging out with other humans and walking through the pines. Seems too good to be true, and that's because it is. Okay. We get confused all the time. I mean, at the end of the day, we're doctors trying to provide excess amounts of value, and sometimes it's just we're just trying to out here figure it out. One thing we do have figured out is how to give out gift cards, which we have local line going out. Looks like we got Mary Lee hanging out. I know we got Grant for Valentine's dinner tonight. Maybe he'll take you out for Valentine's dinner on the 15th. We got Jeff out there, Cassie. What's going on, everybody? Women's Initiative International. And Grant shared a little story about his blood work that he had going on over the past couple of months. And when he was talking about that, I was thinking about what I was going to talk about. Oh, we got a hand.
Oh,
there we go. Cam's flicking fingers now. As you can see, this is what it's actually like, right? We're just putting on a good show, and you guys are probably like, this is straight comedy. Almost as funny as Cam's facial reactions when I said I believe that people landed on the moon. But what I was thinking about was what majority of my patients have been asking me and talking to me about over the past month and a half. And Mary Lee gave the dead face. Yeah, classic. What is stress? And patients are just like, I'm stressed. I just feel stressed, all this stuff. And I think what people don't understand is, as chiropractors, we're doctors of health. We're doctors of all these fundamentals of health. We're not doctors of what's wrong with people. We're doctors of what is right with people. And then we are dealing with people who are in abnormal conditions, and thus we're here to restore normal, not versus let's just fix the abnormal, but not address, let's get them back to normal. And with that, but being doctors of health, the word within health is what? Heal. And when the body is healing itself, it should be doing that cyclically every 24 hours. It occurs during sleep. And when we're in that state, that means we're in a state of balance or homeostasis. When we have lack of balance, when we've lost balance, when we've lost homeostasis, that equals stress. So in addition, we also have to be doctors of removing stress, or doctors of basically anti-stress. We need to understand stress and understand all of the different components that can play a role in what's causing your system to be flared up. For example, I have a patient who she's been dealing with migraines for like 20 some years, and she on her re-exam was a couple weeks ago for her first one, 6 weeks in, and her full spine scans look great. But she was still having a lot of autonomic things. So I was like, okay, this is actually looking pretty good objectively. Migraines are cleared up, but autonomics, there's some underlying things going on. So that's when I thought, okay, I need you to get this anti-inflammatory test that tests for different types of hypersensitivities and get it done and see all these different markers. It's by like 170 different markers. She had the most amount of yellow and red inflammatory foods unique to her that the clinician, dietitian Nathan Slinkard, had ever seen so far. The highest amount, like asparagus, blueberries, beets, yeast, whey, I think lemon. Like, she was inflammatory and intolerant to all of those things, which is why she was actually still having a lot of the symptoms that she started care with, because she had been consuming this stuff every single day because it's been told that it's healthy. But just because it's healthy does not mean that could not be a stressor for you. But when we don't feel good, we don't think good. When our body doesn't feel the way it should, our mind gets affected, and that causes it to ramp up and stress out. And one exercise I want to be able to provide you guys tonight is a routine I've been doing the past couple months that has actually been pretty, I love it, to be quite blunt. I think it's fantastic. I used to never ever journal before. And things I do for my mind, I like to read and I like to meditate. And it was thrown up in me. I'm doing a retreat at the end of this month. It's been a 3 month build up, And one thing they had us do was journal every morning and night. That night, there's a prompt, and it's a 6-question flow. And the nice part is that it makes you go back to being reflective about your day, which calms your brain down because now you're back to thinking about the macro versus flying through your day, sleep, flying through your day, sleep, flying through your day, sleep. And then you run while you're burnt out and you're tired all the time because you don't actually take time to reflect and evaluate the day you just had. So here's a 6-question prompt that I invite you all listening tonight to write out, and maybe in your notes in your phone or whatever it is. But question number 1 is this: is 6 questions. Question number 1 is, what is your purpose? What's your purpose? Why are you here? What is it? For myself, when I write that, I say my purpose is to facilitate myself and others in being the pilots of our lives and health, not the passengers to our bodies and mind. At the specific, our mission is to be the beacon in our community for the hopeless, sick, and suffering who innately believe that their life is more than their diagnosis. If you write that every single evening, you're going to start embodying it, and you're also going to start being aware of the times when you are operating within those confines or not. It's powerful, it's potent, and it's what drives you and makes you operate the way that you do day in, day out. After purpose, you write out win of the day. It could be anything. Mine yesterday was sitting in a chair in the sun at Guillermo's. I was like, that was a nice little moment. I had to get social media done for the clinic, and I was like, I'm gonna pop on this chair real quick before I go to Everbowl. Boom. Then question number 3 is, what was your challenge of the day? So we went from win of the day. No matter what, you're gonna find a win of the day. Eating breakfast, be waking up, getting out of bed. Simple. Number 3 is, what was your challenge of the day? Then number 4 was, what is your strategy to overcome that challenge so it doesn't come back? Number 5 is, what resistance do you need to lean into? Typically, what I'm learning that question refers to is when an event occurs and you don't feel right in your body. So what you think makes you feel, and what you feel makes you think. And typically our subconscious body, what our body feels, dictates what we're going to do or what we're not going to do. Because a lot of us we start feeling things, unless we won't do the thing that we think we ought to do. The last question, my favorite question out of the 6-question flow, is, where can you give yourself more grace? That's been a fantastic question. Just when if you have an entire day listed out of things and you don't get all the things done, or maybe stuff happened in the day, I don't know how people's day flows, but there's always opportunities to give yourself more grace. Absolutely. There's never a lack of opportunity to give yourself more grace. And majority of the people who I take care of don't take advantage of that. So here's my 6-question prompt flow. Hope you guys written it down. If you didn't get it down, this gets recorded. It's going to get uploaded straight to YouTube. If you don't have our app, make sure to get that. If you want to get the recording of the YouTube, just click subscribe. Super easy. If you want an iPad, if you've already done those 2 things, all you have to do is just tag 3 people in a post we've made about an iPad, and you're going to be entered to win. And it's an iPad Pro 2024, the sleekest, fastest, most durable, most entertaining tablet of all time, and you can win it in just 2 weeks. With all that, hope you guys enjoy that. I did too. We got some live comments, but honestly, I don't see enough. I want to get nice. I do think a man landed on the moon. I'm gonna own that. So until then, take care, friends.
What is going on, my lovely friends? I'm Dr. Cam. For those of you that don't know, but I have to just talk about something really quick before I get into my segment. There's a reason why I came to Arkansas, and then I came to Arkansas, and then went into practice with these guys, and I literally love what I do. The clinic stories, Mary Lee. I'm pretty sure she's heard of a lot of them. Like, there's I absolutely love it here. That's part of the deciding factors and reasons why I decided to stay here local in Little Rock for the very, 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 very long foreseeable future. Just because I love these guys. So the whole snapping thing, I was trying to figure out where the sound was coming from, and totally didn't realize that my hand was in the way. So but we're going to go ahead and get started today with me. Listen, my friends, I want to be able to talk to you about something that's near and dear to my heart. For those of you that don't know, I used to weigh 330 pounds. Let me adjust my mic and make sure that you guys heard that. I used to be 330 pounds. I remember stepping on the scale that day, looking at myself, looking at the scale and thinking, wow, you know what? I'm here. I'm 330 pounds. And how did I do that? And then I told myself, how am I able to take care of people and discuss exactly what health is and be 330 pounds? And that's what really started initiating me on my health journey. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about this. And it's the fact that on your health journey, do not do it unhealthy. For those of you that don't know, I used to be a college wrestler. Okay. I wrestled at Alma College. It's a school in Michigan. And at Alma College, get this, I wrestled there and, would eat a ton of food, and I did it super unhealthy. I weighed 300 pounds on Monday, and I would have to cut to 285 pounds by Saturday. And I did that week after week after week after week. And what would happen is I would weigh in at 285 on Saturday. I would go ahead and I like to do competitions and stuff fasted. So I stayed throughout the entire competition fasted. And then as soon as the meet was over, I ended up binge eating so much that I weighed 300 pounds on Monday. I'd binge eat all Saturday night after the meets, and I'd binge eat all of Sunday. I'd wake up Monday morning and be 300 pounds and have to do it over and over and over again. And there's someone that's listening to this Jeremy knows. He was a wrestler. Those things that I created such an unhealthy just way of looking at food because of wrestling. Now, listen, wrestling changed my life. I love wrestling. I endorse wrestling. If my children want to wrestle, they can go ahead and wrestle. Me personally, there's huge debate in the clinic. I think wrestling is the greatest sport in the world. And I'm the one with the mic, so I can say that, but not baseball. But the thing is, when you look at it, you have to, like Jeremy's saying, you have to do it healthy. You have to do it healthy. Because what's happening is I've recently, within the past couple of years, because of that, I've had to recently train myself and be able to learn a different relationship with food because of wrestling. And those of you that are on this live listening to this, you may, especially as the new year started, you may be trying to lose weight. You may be trying to do that. Listen, do it slow and do it healthy. I have a patient that I'm managing right now. He has a goal of losing 100 pounds in 5 years. 100 pounds in 5 years. And he is accomplishing that goal. He's 2 years into it and he's lost like 50. I think it's 50 or 60. But he gave himself that time frame and he's taking it slow. And that's my encouragement to you, my friends, is this. You have to take it slow. If you do it fast, you're just going to rebound. And there's plenty of research that shows this. My son wrestles. That's awesome. Wrestling is amazing. I'm glad to see all these wrestlers in here, giving wrestling a great shout out. I love wrestling. I'm still involved with it here with the Euler wrestling team and stuff. I have a very deep affinity and passion for it. So for those of you that are listening that are trying to accomplish a health goal, do it slow. We take care of patients. They're looking to get out of migraines as soon as they start care, but yeah, they've had migraines for 30 years. It takes a process. Health is a process. Okay. And so for those of you that are trying to lose weight, I just encourage you to do that. Do it slowly. We're going to go ahead and do the local lime giveaway. This is the last chance. If you're watching this, make sure that you're commenting lime below because we are about to get started with the giveaway. I'll give it a couple seconds here. And while we're doing that, I'm hoping everyone's having a wonderful Valentine's Day. You may be thinking, Dr. Cam, you're married and you have 2 kids. Why are you here and not celebrating Valentine's Day with my wife? Because to be honest, my wife and I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. It's just something that we never did. There's 2 important dates to me. The 2 most important dates are the day I got married and the day I got married and the day that my wife was born. Okay, because if she wasn't born, then I wouldn't be married to her. So, 4 entries. All right. So I'm going to pick a random number on Siri between 1 and 4. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is talk about the giveaway. Hey, Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 4. 2. Who do we got, Grant?
It's going to be Jeff and Tammy Whittem.
Oh, my goodness. Jeff and Tammy Whittem. Incredible. Incredible. Oh, yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Jeff and Tammy, congrats on winning. Charity, fantastic point. Again, the man with the mic always wins. Charity said, if a man landed on the moon, explain how the flag was blowing. It doesn't add up. My friends, I agree. We've been on this conversation. I love this clinic and the conversations that we have. But that's a good point. That's something that, Chris is going to put into his frontal lobe and learn to kind of navigate through that. My friends, I really hope that you guys got a ton of value from this talk tonight. Not only from, Dr. Grant, but Dr. Chris, what he said was amazing. And of course, myself, I'm so grateful for every single one of you hopping on. We look forward to seeing you next week. 2 weeks, we have the giveaway. You want to be involved in that. Take care.